President Trump is demanding the Cleveland Guardians and the Washington Commanders to change their name right back to what it was before. Now, I usually don't like to mix politics and sports together, but we have to talk about this. Trump put out a tweet yesterday saying that the Washington whatever should change their name immediately back to the Redskins, and then said likewise that the Cleveland Guardians are one of the 6 original baseball teams and that there's a big need and support for Native Americans to change their name right back to the Indians. Now, I will say there is no original 6 team in baseball history like there is for the NHL. The one of 6 original teams with a storied past is not necessarily true. And then he posted a second tweet a little bit later saying he's basically considering blocking the Commanders' plans to build a new stadium, plus they do agree with the name change. If you didn't know, that Commanders were originally the Redskins. They retired the name in 2020 and officially changed it in 2022 after being named the Washington football team for those previous 2 seasons. Cleveland Guardians were named the Cleveland Indians. They changed that name in 2021. The change is because of the Native American imagery and cultural appropriation that was represented throughout, different figures, mascots, and chants that are being used throughout those teams. After years of backlash, and of course with all of the racial tension going on in 2020, it was finally changed during that time. After both of those tweets were sent out, both owners not only weren't aware of it in the beginning, once they were made aware of it, didn't really show any signs of considering that name change. This is also said by Guardians President of Baseball Operations, Chris Antonetti. They already built this new franchise and gained so much support with the fan base in the city, and that they have no means of changing the name at this point. I will say there are a few remaining teams, one in the MLB, one in the NFL, and also one in the NHL, who has Native American imagery still represented. We have the Atlanta Braves with the MLB, has been getting backlash over the years about the name, but is not planning on changing it due to the apparent support from certain Native American tribes who don't have a problem with the name. For the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs are not planning on changing their name. Instead, it has more of a connection to the previous mayor, who was nicknamed Chief, rather than Native American tribe, as well as the Chicago Blackhawks for the NHL, who said they're using their name to mostly honor significant historical figures in Native American history. However, there is a controversy with some of the motions that are being made for some of the teams, like the Tomahawk Chop. It's still instated in today's day and time. It hasn't been moved yet. So that is one thing that's a little bit murky within their reasoning behind their name. So without really bringing in the discussion of politics along with this, and the way these changes were demanded, how do you guys feel about these names potentially being changed? Especially if you're in a Native American tribe, how do you feel about that? And what are the pros and cons that you see within this whole statement? Also, how do you feel about the remaining teams who decided to keep their name in relation to the Native American tribe and the reasoning behind it?